What is going on, YouTube? It's your boy, the chosen one, Jules Got Nen, and I'm back with another video. So this week I want to talk about Haikyuu, and specifically season 3 of Haikyuu, and now the current season, which is technically season 4, aka Haikyuu the Top. So before I want to jump into the video, make sure you guys subscribe if you like this video. Make sure to give me a like if you like this video. Make sure as well to hit that bell button for all notifications for more from me, Jules Got Nen. With that being said, let's hit this.
I'm running through your mind even when you're on the road. And I'm gonna smoke this dope before I head out on my own. Surrounded by people, but I still feel like I'm alone.
As you guys can see from the title of the video and from the intro, today I will be talking about my all-time favorite sports series, Haikyuu. Specifically, we're going to be talking about the events that transpired in Season 3 and the events that are currently transpiring in Season 4, aka Haikyuu to the Top. So let's dive right into Season 3. So Season 3 is the final conclusion of the tournament to see who will be going to Inner High and representing the specific prefecture. So we have Karasuno High versus Shiratorizawa Academy, which to me, between Season 1 and 2, this is the most hype game. This is the game super hype. I thought the Alba Joyside games were hype. This game was phenomenal. It had everything, the motions, the feel, the hypeness, anything you would want out of sports anime, it had. I felt like I was literally watching the NBA finals or I was watching the Super Bowl. That's how intense it was. That's how do or die this game was. And specifically, it was do or die for both sides because we also have the seniors at Karasuno, which are Asahi, Daichi, Sugawara, that never been to the national tournament. And, essentially this is their time. This is their last year. They have no other chance. And their team became a powerhouse within the first 2 seasons. So now, they have the opportunity to go to the national tournament. They have the team. They have the team now. And you have Shiratorizawa, who's been to the national tournament multiple, for years and years and years. They always pretty much represent the prefecture, always. And, Wakasushi's been there, but he's never won one. So this is his specific time to finally win national tournament. That this is his time. So the game starts off, everybody's playing the first set, and it's very intense because Wakasushi, he's that present, he has that pressure. And we also get introduced to Satori, who is one of their dominant defenders and dominant blockers. And they're giving Karasuno a run for their money this first set. So Shiratorizawa ends up taking the first set. We go to the second set. Karasuno starts to develop a game plan. They start making plays. And I have to give credit to Nishi and Suki for this game, and also Tanashi for his serving. Like, they really held it down. Even though, Shoyo's going to score. These people are going to score, and Daichi's a hell of an all-around player. But these guys, to me, really made the game stand out, 1. And 2, it kind of gave shine to these other players. And as well, what I'm saying, it's not always Hinata and Obio show, even though, they're always the main focus, and Hinata's my favorite character, but I love that about this series. This series was more than just a quick attack. This series was more than just how they became a powerhouse school. They really had to dig deep and win, so we go into the second set. Karasuno ends up taking it. Cool. I'm hyped. I'm like, yeah, let's go 1-1. My boys is not going down. So this is when I kind of got a little nervous. Satori, his defending kept on picking up and all that throughout the set. So this third set, Shiratorizawa ends up taking it. They played the better set. Wakasushi, like I said, no matter what, even though they lost the prior set, he's still a force to be reckoned with. He's going crazy. Nishi's like, can't even hit the ball back sometimes. Like, he serves too as well. His serves are ridiculous. His jump flow is ridiculous. So, everything's just getting crazy. So then we go into the fourth set, which I feel was very vital and very, very essential for this game to be as great as it was, because we had Nishi just going toe to toe with freaking Wakasushi. And not only is he going toe to toe with him, Suki's going toe to toe with him. So, he's blocking, and it's hurting his, his fingers every time he's blocking. He's getting that one touch, it's hurting him. So he ends up bleeding and have to be taken out the game. Kurasuno ends up taking the set, thankfully, and then this fifth set comes, and this is where I feel like everything for me started getting intense, and I thought it was like Game 7 of the NBA Finals. I'm like, dang, it's like Kobe versus the Celtics. I'm like, oh my gosh, it's like Jordan versus. It was just so intense. Like it was like the Super Bowl. It was just so intense because this fifth set is going crazy because Kurasuno is starting to get pounded on, man. Without Nishi, Nishi's vital. We need him. And then we see Nishi running out the tunnel. They're like, "Yo, he's clear." They wrapped his fingers up. He's still, he's still in pain, of course, but he's like, "Yo, I'm not letting my team down. I'm coming out there. We're gonna get this dub." Even though he's the type of guy when he sees a powerful school, he's like, "We're not gonna win anyways. Why do we even try this hard?" He's very negative, but at the same time, it's due to his backstory and what happened with his brother, why he became like that. And he came back out and he did his thing. These boys are doing his thing, and I have to give Nishi the MVP for this round because. He's the reason why them boys won. He was hitting it. He was on the floor, the ball going back over. He's hitting it. He just keeps hitting it. I was like, oh my gosh, this is some craziness. And then we get the final play. The final play, of course, Kurasuno's up 1, and if they make this play, they win the tournament. That I love the 5 decoys they put out, and then you get the guy that hits, and then you just see Shoyo jump in the air. He has his hand all the way back. His feet are all the way up. He looks like a crow and everything. You know how they always do that, like, design in the anime when he jumps and stuff. And he hits it, and you see the ball kind of like the animation's like directing the ball, and then it hits. Oh my gosh, bro. Oh my gosh, the feels. And then you see Sugawara and Daichi and Asahi. And they start pouring tears because they're so happy they did it. Like, they accomplished their goal. And then you see Hinata. Everybody's hyped. Like, everybody's, hyped is lit. Everybody, they're with it, And then you kind of get the Shiratorizawa side. And, Wakasushi, he's sad at the end of the day. But, he's not he doesn't have a lot of dialect. He doesn't talk much. He's not a very vocal guy. And, Satori, he's just joking around. He's like, well, I mean, at least you're going to go pro. And, when you have a documentary, let me be in there. And I was telling him how we're all best friends and all that good stuff. So it was hilarious to see them. And, the Shiratorizawa coach, even though he's very discriminative towards short players, and I didn't mention that throughout the sets, he's very discriminative. So I see seeing Shoyo play, he's like, maybe there can be, like, his mind's not all the way changed, but he's like, maybe there can be a player, at this height to do what he's doing and be as great as he is. But, his ideal is 5'10" guys, and up. Like, he doesn't think short players can hang, and to be a short player, you have to be a beast because you have to separate yourself not only from the tall guys, but to the elite players. You have to become an elite player in order to be recognized at a short level. But he's getting recognized because at the end of the day, besides him, the only guy that's short and doing what he's doing is Korei. And I'll get into that in the top because it's not season 3. So season 3 finishes, they receive their award, and then we go to maybe, I'll say, like, I don't know if it was a month after or a couple weeks. We see, Shoyo, he's heading to school. It's wintertime. It's cold outside. It's snowing. And they all meet in the gym. And then the visor for Kurasuno, I forgot his name. And Coach Yukai, they're all there. Everybody's talking. He's like, yo, I got some good news. Kageyama made the 16U national Japan team. And we're excited. And then, Shoyo's like, yo, what about me? And he's like, you didn't make it. And then... And then he also mentions, hey, Shiratorizawa's coach is hosting the camp, and they invited Suki. They're like, yo, Suki, they were very impressed with your play in the final game of the tournament. They were like, yo, he wants you to go train. So they sent that boy over there, and then, Shoyo's like, yo, what about me? I didn't even get accepted to the Shiratorizawa camp, and I went ham. We beat them boys. But you know how the coach feels. Like I said, he's very discriminative towards short players. It wasn't his ability to play. It was just literally he's short and he doesn't think he's that great. That's just what it is. It's not even that Shoyo is not a beast. It's just what the Shiratorizawa coach thinks. So, he starts, asking for advice. He's like, what should I do? And they're like, oh, you should sneak in. Like that. But then they're like, oh, no, let me not tell him that because this man is crazy. Like, Shoyo, he'll do anything to get better. They snuck in mad schools throughout the first couple of seasons. And then at the same time, they want to see who Wakasushi was. And him and Kageyama pulled up on him. Like, yo, it's so funny. It's so funny. I love when they do stuff like that. It makes the show so funny. But not only that Wakasushi moment that I didn't even mention, that was very intense. When him and Shoyo had that stare off, and then Shoyo kind of showed him his hops, Wakasushi kind of knew he was serious. But, everybody's like, yo, no. Like, if you're gonna sneak into the Shiratorizawa camp, because the national Japan team, if you try to do something like that, bruh, you're gonna get into all types of trouble. So Shoyo, sure enough, did sneak in. He lined up like he was a normal player in the camp or whatever. But then they're like, the coaches and Shiratori, they're like, yo, we didn't invite you, blah, 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 blah. And, Shiratori's our coach. He's always, he's disrespectful. He's just dissing Hinata. He's like, but if you want to be a ball boy, you're more than welcome. So, they call up the advisor. He's like, sorry for Hinata, all that stuff. Like, I'm sorry, I apologize. He's, snuck over there and all that good stuff. And he was like, well, I offered him to be a ball boy. If he wants to come, he's more than welcome. So he ends up going back. He gets scolded a little bit by the advisor. And then he goes to talk to Coach Yukai, and he asks for advice. He's like, should I take it? What should I do? He's like, And then, Yukai gives him advice. He just be real with me. He's like, yo, don't think that being a ball boy is a burden. Don't think that being a ball boy is useless. You'll see. Go over there, try it, and you'll see how much better you'll get at the game. Because he's like, just while you're watching, stuff like that. And then you need to even see throughout the camp. Like, I want to talk about Shoyo being the Shiratori's out camp first. The players in the camp, they're like, yo, why he can't play? They're vouching for him to play. They're like, yo, why he can't play? He nice. They want to smoke with him because he done beat everybody. Like, him, not just him by himself, literally, but their team just beat everybody. Yo, Kurashino just swept everybody in the prefecture. Yo, everybody wants smoke. Daytech players want smoke. Abu Joy-san wants smoke. I believe they were there. And some of the other schools, yo, they want smoke. Like, they're like, bro, you're not going to just, like, come in here and think stuff sweet. We want to smoke with him. But, the coach, he was still like, nah, he's going to be a ball boy. That's just what it is. Like, oh, well, like. But, he did. The cool thing is he did get to practice after practice and all that stuff. He did learn from it. And he was learning more of just having the instinct of the game. Because you see at certain times in the practice, he ends up hitting the ball or he ends up doing something he's not supposed to do. But it's just him having that instinct for volleyball and just wanting to get better. His biggest thing right now is his serving and his receiving. He's not the best at those two things. And even though he's a hell of a monster, hell of a striker and all that stuff, he's just not dominant in those two areas. He's gotten better. And, training with the old Coach Yukai, he's gotten better and all that stuff. But at this point in time, he's not where he should be for a high school level volleyball player. Even though we know he's nice, you know what I'm saying? We know he's fire. So, their camp ends. They end up going back. Let's talk about Kageyama's time at his camp. I feel like his was more, he was getting nervous. He was starting to get into that more controlling way of how he used to be because he started to see the comp in the national tournament. Like, that was going to be in the national tournament because a lot of those guys are national level. So you have the Maya brother that he's the setter with the blonde hair, the main one. He pulls up to Kageyama. He's a little bit cocky and stuff like that. And he kind of disses Kageyama and stuff like that. Like, not in a mean way, just like in a competitive way. So, that goes out. So he's a little nervous because he's saying how this boy sets. This boy's getting good sets in practice and all that good stuff. And, he gets to see also some of the other players like Korai, who was same thing like Hinata. So he ends up asking like Obio, oh, yeah, you seen this? He's like, yeah, you're nice, but I know somebody just like you. So that threw off Correa, and he was just like, oh, bro, what you talking? We talking that ish, bro. Like, he's kind of salty a little bit. And then, we get to see the number one ace in the whole like, not just the whole prefecture, just in Japan in general. And his name is Sasuke. I think that's how you say it. And he's like a germaphobe and all that, but he's a hell of a player. And we also got to see a little bit of his play and the win OVA when they played Furukodani in the finals. So that was pretty dope. He's a dope character. I can't wait to see more of him. I hope we get to see more of him in the anime. I know in the manga, after the nationals and all that, you don't really see much of them and stuff like that. So pros and all that good stuff. But let's focus on the top right now. So, he gets to see these players. He goes back. He becomes like a little more jerky like he used to be and stuff like that because he kind of seen the comp and he feels like he has to control everything and stuff like that when he gets back. So they end up, practicing a little bit and then they go into the national high tournament. They play their first team and everybody's kind of like in a funk and stuff because Kageyama's kind of off and, but then everybody gets back in their groove, smash them, 2-0 them boys. I don't even want to talk about the team or anything. It wasn't, not that they weren't a good team, we always should demonstrate sportsmanship and all that good stuff, but they just weren't a team to talk about. But then, we get the Meyer brothers and the game they're playing now. Now, them boys are some pressure. And let's talk about the main Meyer brother, the one with the blonde hair. He's a monster. Like, their band was playing and this man just, while he's about to serve, when he did that, I was like, that was dope. I was like, that is hype. I was like, that is super hype. This boy, he ended up essentially being one of the characters I truly like in this show. Just learning more about him, even in the manga when I started reading the manga too. He's super dope character. He's like a he be flaming, but he's like a funny dude when he flames. It's not per se like he's more sarcastic and stuff. He's not per se like oh mean like oh you suck or stuff like that. He's not like that. So we see their game and you see how Karasuno kind of struggles with their play because not only is he nice and his team nice, his twin brother's nice. His twin brother they had their own quick attack. That that was crazy when I found that it was crazy. But Karasuno did end up taking that one set. I felt like even though the Maya brothers and their team is raw, Karasuno is still nice. Karasuno still has like Nishi and Suki alone are just monsters. They're like their defensive prowess is crazy. And not only that, Tanaka too. Like Tanaka was struggling during the game, but he never gives up. That's what I love about Karasuno. They never give up. They're always gonna do what they can to win, and that's what makes them very great. And something I had to mention too for Hinata as well. He ended up getting to see Korei play before the events of them playing the Maya brothers, which I thought was very essential because now this is the thing I love about Hinata. As soon as he see a great player or great teams, he wants smoke. So he's like, I want to play him and stuff like that. I want to, he wants to know how to get better because he kind of sees Korei's game and like, this man is nice. Like he can play every aspect of the game. He's super nice and he's a hell of a striker. You know what I'm saying? So he gets to see him. So I thought that was pretty cool, and the interaction with them was pretty dope. So then we'll go into right now what's going on the top in the anime. We had the Nekama game versus the tech school they were playing, and also the coach for that tech school used to be a former Nekama player. So he kind of knows the defensive schemes of Nekama, since Nekama is more defensive dominant. And we get to focus more on Kenma, and like we know he loves video games, and kind of got back on that and all that stuff, and how he was always with his boy with the black hair. I forget his name, so that's my fault. He's always with his boy, and they always want to level up and get better. And it kind of shows Kenma's personality as well. Like he's not the most physically strong guy, or he's not the best at cardio and stuff, but he always sees things through to the end, and that's what like I got out of from him. And he's just a super dope dude. Like he put his whole body on the line for them to win that game, and he's a hell of a setter. Like I said, I feel like Haikyuu has crazy setters. Like to me, I feel like he can go toe to toe with Kageyama as well. Oh, definitely. He is super nice. He might not be as physically strong and as tall as Kageyama, but he can go toe over toe. I believe that he can go toe to toe with that boy. So they end up winning their game. And he's fatigued, and we get a lot of the Nekama team, they're all joking. You're like, Kemba, like, like, and then, joking. But then, who they're watching play. And then, we see them. They're, like, watching the game and all that good stuff. And then, Kemba ends up coming up. And the game they're watching is Karasuno versus the Meyer brothers. And, we see Hinata, go crazy. And they were telling Karasuno, we're here. We're ready for that smoke. So, if you're a manga reader, it's next. Karasuno versus Nekama and all that good stuff. So I'm ready for that game. With that being said, I want to thank you guys for hanging with me, watching the video. If you guys love some Haikyuu, make sure to drop a like. Like I said in the beginning, subscribe. That helps a lot. I'll push out more videos as much as I can. Drop a bell button for the notifications. If you want to be Noti Gang, let me know. If you want to be Noti Gang, let me know. With that being said, guys, you guys have a blessed day, a blessed week, a blessed year, a blessed month. I said that backwards. But you guys have a great day, guys. I am out.